Listen closely, everyone, because today we're going to explore a truth that's been with you all along, a truth so profound, so transformative, that many of you will fear it. But fear not, because this is the moment of your awakening. Today, we are going to learn why, in the silence, you will find your true strength. Silence. A word that, for many, carries an unsettling weight. It's in the quiet moments that we feel exposed, vulnerable, unsure of who we are and what we have become. It's the place where all distractions fade and we are left alone with our thoughts, a place some avoid at all costs. But listen to me now. It is in the silence that your true strength is revealed. Now, I know that many of you fear silence. It's uncomfortable. It brings up things we'd rather not face. It forces us to confront our insecurities, our doubts, our regrets. In silence, you are no longer able to hide behind the noise of the world. In the silence, you must look inwards. You must look at the truth of who you are. But why do we fear this? We fear silence because it exposes us, exposes the places where we are broken, where we are fragile. We fear the vulnerability that silence brings, for it reveals the parts of ourselves that we'd rather ignore. But in that silence, those very places hold the potential for the greatest transformation. Because, my friends, it is in the silence where you begin to realize that your weaknesses are not to be feared, but embraced. They are the very things that can be turned into your greatest strengths. Let's be honest for a moment. Life is not easy. There are days when the weight of the world feels too heavy to carry. There are moments when you feel like you can't keep going, when the darkness of your thoughts consumes you. But it is in those moments of solitude, when everything else falls away, that you find your true power. Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of your fears, looking into the abyss of uncertainty, and you feel the weight of doubt creeping in. The silence is deafening, and it's all too easy to listen to the negative thoughts swirling in your mind. But what if I told you that this moment, this very moment of darkness and silence, is where your strength begins? In the silence, the darkness becomes your ally. When everything around you seems uncertain, it's in the quiet, reflective moments that you can discover who you truly are. The silence is not an enemy. It is a mirror that reflects your deepest truths. How many of you have ever felt truly alone? Not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Solitude can be a heavy burden, but it's in these moments of isolation that you learn to rely on yourself. It's easy to think that you need others to survive, to succeed, to thrive. But the truth is, you only need yourself. Solitude teaches you to listen, not to the noise of the world, but to the quiet whispers within you. It's in solitude that you find clarity. You realize that you are stronger than you think, more capable than you've ever given yourself credit for. In the quiet, you begin to unravel your potential, one layer at a time. When you finally stop running from silence, you begin to understand that it's in these moments of quiet reflection that you discover your true power. You are not who the world says you are. You are not defined by your mistakes, your failures, or your shortcomings. You are not the sum of other people's expectations or judgments. You are the sum of your strength your resilience, and your ability to rise. Let me tell you something. Silence is where your real power lies. It's where you can hear your own voice, the one that's been silenced by fear, by doubt, by other people's opinions. It's in the silence that you begin to speak to yourself with compassion, with love, and with unwavering confidence. Think about the last time you faced a challenge. Maybe it was a personal setback, a heartbreak, a failure. In those moments when the world feels like it's collapsing around you, there is a choice. You can either let the silence consume you, let the doubt, the fear, the pain take over, or you can choose to rise. The choice to rise, my friends, is the choice to embrace the silence. It's the decision to look inward, to find the strength that's always been there, waiting for you to recognize it. When we talk about strength, we often think of it in physical terms, how much we can endure, how much we can achieve. But true strength is not about power or endurance. It's about vulnerability. It's about being willing to face your fears, your insecurities, and your pain. It's about allowing yourself to feel those emotions fully, without judgment, without resistance. In silence, you are forced to confront your vulnerability. You cannot escape from it. But here's the thing. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, when you embrace the silence and face your fears, you unlock an immense power. The power to heal, the power to transform, the power to rise above the challenges that once seemed insurmountable. True strength is born from the willingness to face your darkness, to sit in the silence and acknowledge your fears. And in that space, you discover that you are far stronger than you ever imagined. Self-reflection is a powerful tool, yet so many of us avoid it. It's too painful, too uncomfortable. We'd rather stay busy, stay distracted, than face the quiet moments that force us to look at who we really are. But it is in self-reflection, in those quiet moments when you're alone with your thoughts, that you begin to understand your purpose. Silence gives you the gift of perspective. When you stop running, when you stop filling every moment with noise and distractions, you allow yourself the space to think, to reflect, to grow. It's in these moments that you can start to see where you've been holding yourself back, where you've been living in fear, and where you've been allowing the opinions of others to dictate your actions. In the silence, you realize that the only opinion that truly matters is your own. Many people fear being alone because they equate solitude with loneliness. But the truth is, being alone is one of the most empowering experiences you can have. It is in solitude that you find your strength. It's in the quiet moments when you are by yourself that you discover your inner resources, the reserves of energy, creativity, and resilience that lie dormant, waiting for you to tap into them. Being alone does not mean you are abandoned. It means you are being given the opportunity to discover yourself in the purest form. It is in these moments that you can finally hear your heart's desires, your dreams, your ambitions, without the noise of the world drowning them out. Silence is not a void to be filled, nor an uncomfortable emptiness to be avoided. It is a canvas, a blank slate, upon which your deepest potential can be realized. It is an arena where transformation occurs, where your internal world is reshaped and refined, where the distractions of life are silenced long enough for you to hear the truth of your own being. In this world, we are constantly bombarded by noise. It comes in many forms: the chatter of people around us, the notifications on our phones, the endless media that fills our minds. We've been conditioned to believe that this noise is necessary, that it keeps us informed, connected, and moving forward. But the truth is, all this noise keeps us from the most important thing, ourselves. The power of silence is the power to reconnect with who you truly are. It's the space where all the excess falls away, leaving you face to face with the essence of your being. It is the place where transformation happens, where you can begin to strip away the layers that have kept you from your true potential, whether those layers are doubts, fears, or societal expectations. Silence allows you to clear away the clutter that has accumulated over time, revealing the strength and resilience that reside deep within you. In silence, you are not only cleansing your mind and heart, but you are also making space for growth. When you remove the distractions, the space opens up for the seeds of your future to be planted. Seeds of clarity, of purpose, and of strength. The more you embrace silence, the more you allow these seeds to take root and grow into something meaningful. Silence is not empty. It is full of potential. So often we associate silence with emptiness, with a lack of something. But in truth, silence is filled with infinite potential. It is the fertile ground where your ideas, desires, and dreams can take form. It is in the stillness of the moment that you hear the whispers of your soul, the voice that has been overshadowed by the constant noise of the outside world. In the silence, you can finally tune in to the deeper parts of yourself. You can begin to listen to what truly matters and what your soul is yearning for. Consider this: when the noise of the world falls away, there is only you. In the silence, you no longer have to answer to anyone else. There are no expectations, no judgments, no distractions. Just you, as you truly are. It is here that you can reconnect with your deepest desires, those dreams that have been buried under the weight of other people's opinions or your own self-doubt. It is in silence that you can hear the calls of your authentic self, gently guiding you toward the path you are meant to walk. The answers you seek are not out there, in the noise and confusion of the world. They are within you. And when you stop to listen, when you sit in the silence, you will begin to hear them clearly. I want to ask you now, what will you do with the silence that comes into your life? Will you continue to fill every moment with noise and distractions? Will you run from the silence, afraid of what it might reveal? Or will you sit with it, face it, and allow it to be your teacher? The silence is not your enemy. It is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. It is in the silence that you will find your true strength. It is in the silence that you will uncover the parts of yourself that you have neglected or hidden from the world. It is here that you will discover who you truly are. Not who others want you to be, not who society expects you to be, but who you are at the deepest level of your soul. And when you discover that truth, when you connect with the core of your being, you unlock a strength that cannot be shaken. The strength that comes from knowing who you are. The strength that comes from living in alignment with your true purpose. The strength that comes from standing in your power, unapologetically, without the need for validation from anyone else. Many of us are afraid of silence because we fear the truth that it might reveal. We fear what we might have to face in the stillness. But the truth is that silence is the key to everything you've been seeking. It is the key to your own transformation. In silence, you are not alone. You are with yourself. And that is enough. When you sit in silence, you are given the opportunity to reflect on your journey, to assess where you have been, where you are, and where you want to go. The noise of the world drowns out your ability to hear your own thoughts. But in silence, you are able to reflect clearly and without judgment. You can examine your past, your mistakes, your triumphs, and understand how they have shaped you into the person you are today. It is only in silence that you can gain this kind of clarity. The decisions that once felt impossible now become clear. The uncertainty that once clouded your mind begins to dissolve. You begin to understand that you are capable of anything you set your mind to, because you now know who you truly are. But silence is not always comfortable. In fact, it can be incredibly uncomfortable. It forces you to confront the very things you may have been running from. Your fears, your insecurities, your doubts. But it is only by facing these things, by sitting in silence and allowing yourself to fully experience your emotions, that you can transform them. You don't need to be afraid of these feelings. They are not there to weaken you. They are there to show you your strength. The very fact that you can sit in silence, face your fears head on, and still remain standing is a testament to your inner power. You are stronger than you realize, and the silence is there to remind you of this strength. When you embrace silence, you are no longer afraid of the things that once scared you. You understand that fear is just a feeling, and that feelings, no matter how strong, do not define you. You have the power to shape your own destiny, and you have the strength to create the life you've always wanted. As you begin to embrace the silence, something incredible happens. It stops being a source of fear, and instead, it becomes your ally. Silence becomes the space in which you find your true power, your deepest clarity, and your truest self. It is no longer a force that holds you back, but one that propels you forward. When you allow yourself to sit in silence, you create the conditions for personal growth, healing, and transformation. The silence becomes your partner in this journey, guiding you along the path toward your highest potential. It is in the quiet moments that you will experience the most profound shifts in your life, because it is in these moments that you finally hear your own truth. And when you hear your truth, when you step fully into your power, nothing in this world can stop you. The opinions of others, the challenges that come your way, the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable, all of these things will lose their power over you. You will become the master of your own destiny, and nothing will stand in the way of your success. In the silence, you realize that you have always had the power to shape your own destiny. It is not something that is given to you by others, nor is it something that is predetermined by fate. Your destiny is yours to create, and it starts with the decisions you make in the silence. When you listen to your inner voice, when you trust in your own strength and wisdom, you begin to see opportunities where there once were obstacles. You become a creator of your own reality, a master of your own fate. The The silence has given you the clarity, the courage, and the strength to pursue your dreams with conviction and confidence. And when you step into that power, when you align yourself with your true purpose, you become unstoppable. The silence is no longer a place of fear. It is a place of power, of transformation, and of limitless potential. And in that space, you will find the strength to become the person you were always meant to be.